Tonight's episode of TWITS is brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light.
Pick this puppy up. Hello again, everybody, and welcome to the Week 5 edition of TWITS. Joining us once again from his palatial estate in Brownwood, Texas. 3 luxury sleds in the driveway. Mike Paddock, how are you, sir?
Howdy, doing fine. Those northern teams, they can't quite handle that. Those Midwest corn-fed ones, huh? College-wise, I'm talking.
Certainly appears that way. Yeah, it's speaking of the northern tier, Mike. I don't know if you guys have cooled down, but we're gonna have some snow up in the northern part of the state by Thursday.
Whoa, no, not that much.
Yeah, probably just a dusting, but for the aforementioned Patriots 5th grade game on Thursday, we're looking at game time temp of around 40 with some wind and rain, so excellent football weather. All right, Mike, well, let's get Week 5 kicked off with a little news and notes. Mike, we're going to have a little free view of the premium content. Put the password out there on the site for Week 5, so everyone will be able to take advantage of the premium content for 1 week, even if they don't watch this show in all its glory. So that will be through next Monday. So Week 5, the password will be plus, and like I said, that's out on the message box on everyone's login screen. And also, I wanted to tell everyone that previously under the premium content, there was the SFFL free agents. I've moved those out of premium content now, and those are under transactions. So if you're looking for that free agent list, it is under transactions now. And Mike, to even make it even easier, on the premium content form that you click on where you enter the password, I've got it set up now so that you can enter passwords for the current week and the upcoming week. So you can kill 2 birds with 1 stone. So if you're listening to this, and I'll give you week 5 password tonight, and the week 6 password, you can enter those at one time so you don't have to remember things for a week. So we here at TWITS are making it even easier to get a hold of that premium content, Mike. And once again, one of the new things, which I've used a couple times already, is the free agent finder. That's one of about 8 things in premium content that I think are excellent tools to help you out and manage your team. One other thing I'm going to do, Mike, I'm going to open it up if anyone can submit an idea, such as the free agent finder, in addition to the site, be it premium content or anything else that I think merits development and would help the site. I'll get that out there, and then whoever does that, I'll give them free premium content for the rest of the year, so you won't have to. Not that anyone would intentionally miss episodes of TWITS, but let's say you're sick, someone dies, I don't know, something happens and you can't watch an episode of the TWITS, you'll still have premium content. So, so that's the premium update. Mike, we got to get to a little airing of grievances here, Mike. What is going on with the Green Bay Packers, and what have they done to piss off the NFL?
It's not the NFL, it's the referees.
Well, we get the good guys back, and
purportedly.
Yeah, and I mean they tried as hard as they could to outdo the officials on Monday night.
Like I told the former SFFLer Fred the other day, it doesn't really matter which refs are not making the calls.
No, we had some. I mean, the Jimmy Graham catch, I guess you can make a case. In fact, I did make the case that they weren't going to overturn that. And the Marcus Colston, I think, had a nice little push-off in the end zone, too, that was called on that first touchdown.
2 uncalled push-offs in the end zone for offensive interference.
And then, obviously, most glaring was the Sproles fumble, which, if not for a holding call, that maybe was a make-up call a little bit. Would have cost us the at least a lead in that game and potentially the game. The second airing of grievances, we'll have to give a shout out here to Mr. Bonner, who do appreciate his viewership. It probably accounts for somewhere in the 90 to 100% range of the viewership on a weekly basis. He gave us some advice that the Twitch was going too long, Mike, and I don't think that's possible. I mean, more of us and less of you is basically our motto.
We take out all the commercials once we put it online. If you listen to us live, you got the commercials in there. So we take out all the commercials once we get online, and sometimes we fill up a little bit more time than others. Yeah.
Plus, I mean, do you think Boncher, do you think Coors is going to be happy all of a sudden we start throwing out a product there that's not, a certain amount of time, it has content that's not up to snuff? That 5-year contract will be ripped up and thrown right in our faces, and that's the last thing we need.
Hey, speaking of snuff, why don't you try to get us a snuff contract?
Might as well. And then to compound that, he's going to brew some more beers, with his little home brewing setup there. He wants to maybe give some for us, to give some promos of that on the show. This is after he tells us that the show is too long. So.
Oh, he wants to cut out. What do you want to cut out? Dog of the week, so you can put your beer of the week on there.
Yeah,
that's not a bad idea, actually.
No, well, actually, you got to cut out Chalk Dog. I suck. So. My challenge is anyone, Boncher, anyone, put the sandwich down and hop over here Tuesday nights at 8:30, and you can pull up a seat right next to the commish, and you can get on here and filibuster. You can cut me off if things are going too long. You can do whatever you want, but you gotta put your money where your mouth is. So Tuesday nights 8:30. 6586 Sherman Lake Road. That's where it's all happening. So,
or you could also, propose some changes if you like. I mean, obviously you said it's too long, but if you don't like a certain segment or you want a different segment in here, we're always open to it. I think. Go ahead.
Don't freaking encourage that, because he'll come back. It'll be all my segments first of all. Those will be at the top of the chopping block. So Chalk Talk will be gone. Weekly Rewind, News and Notes will be gone. So. You'll be doing a one-man stand-up act. So, all right. Well, that just about does it for news and notes, except for just once again the plus system, Mike. I think is cooking along pretty well. Makes actually my life a lot simpler up here. So, hope everyone is enjoying the new plausibly live scoring system. Up north. Tonight's episode is brought to you by Epic Brewing and their Hop Syndrome Lager, part of their Exponential series. That contains American hops, American lager yeast, and German Pilsner malt, Mike.
Nice. Down south, I got another Southern brew. This one out of the great state of Louisiana, Abita Turbo Dog, which is a dark brown ale. If you have the Abita sample pack up there, I suggest you try it.
Living a Vida Loca.
That would be a good one for their marketing campaign, I think, yes.
Yep. I've missed my calling, Mike. All right. Mike, we're going to lengthen this thing out even a little bit more tonight. Mike, cue the music. We're going to play a little game of mini skeptic or believer, Mike. And first question for you, Mike. We are rolling into week 5, correct?
Yes.
And I want to know, Mike, are you a skeptic or believer? There have only been 2 times in SFFL history where 2 4-0 teams have met in week 5. Are you a skeptic, Mike, or are you a believer?
No, I'm a believer.
That would be incorrect, Mike. It's actually only happened 1 time.
It's happening now, isn't it?
It is not.
Oh, it's not? Dang it.
There are no undefeated teams. You have to go back to 2002, week 5. Andy was 4-0 and took on a 4-0 Mickey squad.
Ooh.
And in fact, Mike, there's only been two times where there's been combined 7 wins heading into week 5. Andy 4-0 against Evan 3-1 in 1999. Everyone remembers how that turned out. And then in 2009, the aforementioned Evan and yourself, Evan 3-1 again, Mike at 4-0.
Oh yeah.
So those were the only times that we've had a one-loss matchup. Then, Mike, this past weekend we'll get into the matchup breakdowns in the weekly rewind. But we had a high-scoring affair, Mike, and we had a matchup where the losing team actually had a higher score than another matchup in the league when you combine the two team scores.
Gee, I wonder who was part of that matchup.
So, do you think, or I'll ask it this way, how many times do you think that's happened since 2008 in the SFL history? Do you think it's more than 4 or less than 4?
I'll go less than 4.
You would be incorrect, Mike.
Jeez.
It's happened 5 times. The most notable...
Tom was involved in most of those, right?
Well, I can't confirm that. He was involved in some of them. Probably the most interesting ones happened way back in '98. We had Mickey had a 36-point defeat to Thad, 44-36, and that 36 points was better than Tony 30, Andy 4, Tim 26, Evan 5, and Wayne 25, Tom 7.
Whoa!
This is pre-bonus scoring, I'm guessing. So, but
I thought you said 2009, so I must have misheard you.
No, since 2008, it's happened 5 times.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But yeah, back in, I thought that was the most interesting one. 1998, and week 6 had 3 of them.
That was before they figured out how to do the forward pass, I believe.
Yes. Yeah, I think Otto Graham was Tom's quarterback. So. All right, Mike. Well, let's break out of that and head right into the weekly rewind. And we'll take a look at week 4 action. We had Stormin Norman Schwarzkopf there, Bill, who got, I think, pretty much big Monday nights from Brandon Marshall and Jason Witten to come back and beat Wayne 63-56. Wayne was paced by Sherrod White with 20 points. We had Evan and Mike squaring off, and Mike behind RG3's 14 takes down Evan 43-31. In a shootout, the commish via tiebreaker, thank you Drew Brees for the passing yards, 77-76 over Greg. And I believe, Mike, we have a 12-pack change in hands in this one. Mickey, 67, Tom, 32. Mickey bolstered by the Houston Texans defense, and their 17 points. And then lastly, we had Thad and Tim squaring off. Both teams over 60, 69-61. Thad takes the victory there. Tom Brady with 21 points. Usurps Peyton Manning and his 15 for the victory for Thad.
Wow, whatever happened to Tom's team? He started out with, I think, 80 against me in the first week, and I don't even know, has he scored over 40 the last 3?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Mike, what's coming up on tap for week 5?
Sondo, week 5 on tap. The spotlight game. Thad's Chilean Miners, 3-1 with 220 points taken on me and my tax returns. Also at 3-1 at 203 points this year. I have the all-time points lead 758 to 665. And I lead that all-time series 11-5. Winning 7 of the last 8s to get to that point.
Wow.
Could someone say Thad and the Whipping Boys?
Ooh.
And then we have Bill coming off a nice win there with 214 points versus you and your glory holes with coming in at 3-1 with 266 points. Your first matchup against the new kid on the block. And then we got Wayne and Evan squaring off at 2-2 apiece. Wayne's got 217 points. Evan's 173 this year. And he leads at all-time points 1120 to 1036. And the all-time series 18-16. No love lost between those two.
No, that's stay away from the Southern Metro.
And the Jaeger.
Uh-huh.
Tim and Tom also squaring off this week. Tim at 2-2 with 253 points, and Tom at 1-3 with 180. Tom leads at all-time points though, 962 to 863, so he's got almost a C note on him. And the all-time series 14-9, winning 9 of the last 12 to get to that point.
Uh-huh.
And last but not least, certainly Mickey, Crazy Mom at 1-3 with 219 points against Greg Beers My Life at 1-3 with 231. Most of those coming this past week. But Greg does lead the all-time series 1194 to 1056, and the series 18-14, winning the last 10 to get to there. Woo. Wow,
that was an 8 in 14 hole, which is now a 4-point or 4-game advantage. That's impressive.
Correct. That's what's on tap.
Excellent. Mike, we finally have something to talk about in record setters. Or as it says on my sheet, record setters. Other than that, we've got 5 of them this week. First of all, the SFFL combined for 66 defensive points. Good enough for 5th all-time. And QB points, 141 were scored, and that's good enough for 6th all-time among all owners. The aforementioned matchup between myself and Greg netted 153 points combined between us, and that was good for 6th place all time. The commish checking in with the 8th most bonus points of all time in a week with 31. And the SFFL as a whole, once again, wide receiver points, 132. That good for 10th place all time. And those are your record setters. Mike, let's talk about premium password for this week. Week number 5 is plus, and for week 6, it's going to be Bach. As in, it's time to go buy some good Bach beers that are out in the stores now. So, a couple of 4-letter words there. Plus and Bach are your week 5 and 6 passwords, and you can now enter those at the same time out on the website. Just click on any of the content in the premium area, and you'll be prompted to enter those. You can enter both or one, either way, and you'll be all set. So, enjoy. Mike, I need a drink for this segment. Let's get to everyone's tertiary favorite topic, a little segment we here at TWITS like to call Chalk Talk. And I'm going to caveat and kind of screw the pooch here a little bit and tell you that last week I had Western Michigan, but right after this, and you can confirm, we learned that Alex Carter, the senior quarterback for that team, was going to be out. So I kind of mucked that bet. We'll just pretend that never happened. But what I'm going to do is to make it up to everyone, I'm going to give you one NCAA and one NFL pick for the week. Mike, we're going to go, NFL-wise, we are going to go to the Meadowlands, where Eli Manning and the Giants, coming off a heartbreaking defeat to Philadelphia, are laying 9 points against Cleveland, and their last place pass defense, and I'm going to pick the Giants to easily cover that 9 points. And then on the college side, Mike, we're going to take some Big Ten country team. We're going to take the Michigan State Spartans. They are at home. Maybe they're not at home. I can't remember. They might be on the road. It doesn't matter. They're taking on Indiana, who is god-awful. They are laying 15.5, and I'm guessing Le'Veon Bell is going to be able to cover that by himself, and with a little help from a little tight end I like to call Deion Sims. You'll be hearing about him in the NFL. So those are the two Chalk Talk picks, and then that's going to hopefully bring me out of my, I guess it would be 1-1 rut. So hopefully I can tie you up if you somehow miss on Dog of the Week. But speaking of Dog of the Week, Mike, you are impressing even the harshest of critics out there and making Vegas Wise Guys envious. Your third win in a row. This time you had the Saints plus 7.5 at Lambeau, and they get out of there in a squeaker. Only need one or two of those points to move to 3-0, Mike. So what do you have for us this week?
Yeah, I noticed the replay is on there right above your head, so if anyone wants to continue watching that game and see how the Dog of the Week went last week. But I'm jumping on board the old Tannehill wagon here, and Miami's getting 4 at Cincinnati. Cincinnati is not that good. Miami put up a heck of a lot of passing yards last week. They've got some semblance of a running game and some pretty good special teams. So I'll go ahead and take that 4 and Miami. Thank you.
All right. And then, Mike, to wrap up Twits, we've got the game of the week. And it's not been treating either one of us real well. Combined 1 win between the two of us. That coming from the southern tier. So we're going to get away from the Monday night, Sunday night thing, Mike, and we're going to go to a game that every NFL fan has had circled on their calendars since the schedule came out. Arizona at St. Louis on Thursday nights. I'm sure Network TV is very concerned about the ratings for their primetime series with that going on at the same time. So who do you like in that slugfest?
Yeah, they could have. They wouldn't even had to move that one for the debates. They could have had that one on Wednesday night. Probably had the same audience. I tell you what. Last week I picked up a new defense, which would be Arizona. They got a little bit for me in your league, but they kind of fell through. They were playing very well early on. And I don't know, St. Louis just doesn't seem to have it together, so I am going to go ahead and take Arizona. I'm sticking with my guns here. I'm keeping that defense, too, this week, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go ahead and not make up any ground again. I think Arizona also is going to pull that one out. I think their defense is much better than it showed last week. They left Miami receivers wide open for some reason. And I think that them falling behind 17-0 kind of got them out of their game plan right away in that one. So I think it was a pretty good show for them to battle back and win that one. St. Louis coming off a big win against Seattle. But I'm guessing that Kevin Cobb is going to probably have a better day than Russell Wilson did in that game. So I'm going to go ahead and agree and take the Cardinals, hopefully getting me off the schneid and moving you to 500. So. All right. Well, that's just about do it for this week's episode of Twits. If you'd like to see this or any past episode of Twits, visit twits.vh1classic.com or go to YouTube and type in the keyword Twits. And for my co-host and producer, Mike Paddock, we'll see you next time on the Week 6 edition of Twits.
Adios.
Adios.